Hello folks, Alex here, Straights on the Fly with A-Rex Hooks, Pro Sportfisher, going over their tubing. Today we are going to tie a Steelhead Marabou tube with a few little different variations in it that really make it what I think one of the best ones out there for castability and profile. It's Jaap Koopmans Formula One Flash Tail. We're going to use the Nano tube. Just a little bit about the Pro Sportfisher. They have a variation of tubes out there and all have a really good place. These Nanos have always been one of my favorites. They're small enough to where you don't eat up a bunch of material going on it, and they are strong enough to be fished as is. I absolutely love these and really feel that they are the easiest tube to tie on. Beyond any shadow of a doubt. So we'll put that on. I'm gonna bring that back a little bit. And I wanna give you a quick tip here too. If you, like me, have a vise where this thing is kind of in the way of that needle, what I do with my needles, they're a little bit longer, is I'll trim off the back about 1 inch just so it accommodates my vise and I can actually get it up a little bit closer right there. And I still get the full use of the needle, but now I'm able to tie very close by. So if you have a peak vise like me, maybe try taking a 1/2 inch or inch off with a clean pair of, steel cutters or whatever, and seems to work out perfectly. So without further ado, I am going to begin. And I'm starting about halfway on that tube here. And I'll come right about there. Okay. Get this. And this is a Semperfly with what I think are just a couple really just novel ideas to make this Marabou fly just a cut above all the rest. You don't have to do this flash tail. You can just go right to the front if you want it a little bit smaller, or if you just don't want the flash in there. I'm doing the flash tail just so you can see how that works, but it's totally up to you how you want to do that. So all I'm doing is making just a little bit of a dubbing bump here. It doesn't have to be a huge prop at all, okay? And let me readjust just a little. Perfect. And then what I'm going to do is make this flash tail here. And for this, I really prefer a flash with a little bit more structure. The various Scandie winging flashes, whether it's Froden's SSS or Futurefly Star Flash, TN Salmon Flies, winging flash. I like them all. They're all a little bit unique, but they all seem to do the trick really well. So this is pink on this side, and I'll flip it around and do orange on the other. Now you can blend them all together if you want. You don't have to do a one side or the other like I'm doing. Sometimes I just like to have a top and a bottom in color, just for fun. And then I'm gonna go like this and wrap that one in too. Just make sure we're spreading it like so. Make sure it's good and locked in. And at this point, you can take the cone slider, what I call it, you can go like that. Try that one more time. Make sure nothing's tangled up. Beautiful. And lock it in like so. Now what I'll do is begin trimming just a little bit just to get various lengths in it. And the way to do that is kind of come at an angle and don't just cut it all, because if I go like that, all the flash goes away. I just am kind of gliding and pressing just slightly, just a little bit of pressure. It's easier to go back over it than it is to cut it all off. So I take a moment and just get, you know, a nice, I like the tail just to be teardropped. If you're gonna put the flash in, I figure you might as well make it, you know, shape it to make it swim as good as it can. This actually gets rid of material, but gives you more movement as well. And that would be kind of the tail there. Depending on what you're fishing for and how flashy you want it, you could then come over this with more Flashabou, make it longer if you like. We're just going to keep that right there because I like that. Then I'm going to take a flat braid right here. And I'm not going to go too far up, just slightly. Maybe do about there. I don't want too much space in between. I'm not trying to create, you know, an intruder size fly here, but I do want to separate that flash tail from the front of the fly, so the materials can swim independently of each other a little more freer. This color combo, pink and orange, and I try to pick out some specific pinks and orange, the right shades, but ultimately pink and orange is just one of those classic steelhead, even king salmon colors for fish coming right off of the tide. And they're aggressive, whether they've been feeding on shrimp or krill or whatever it is. You'll oftentimes just get very aggressive strikes with those fish. Your fly doesn't have to be anything fancy. They just really need to see it. And you get those colors, and more times than not, you will get an aggressive steelhead to take right away. Kings, it depends. Sometimes they'll have, depending on the river system, it can be pinks is what they really want to go for. I recall fishing in Alaska one time, and I wasn't getting anything on the chartreuse blue, chartreuse and white, which are famous, you know, king colors. And when I went to pinks, I started getting fish. So anyway, a classic Pacific Northwest color combo. So what I do, I put the Flexibead on right there. And I have about maybe ½ inch at most of space from the front of that to the tail. Now what I take is a material called Nutria, very popular in Scandinavia, somewhat popular in North America. It's a water type rodent. It's a very interesting material too. It sheds water, it doesn't hold water, and it actually has a reverse taper to the hair, so it goes thinner to thicker as a structure, and it just fights the current in a weird way. What I'm trying to do with it here is just to create the lightest prop for my Marabou, but still give a lot of volume to my Marabou, using the least amount of materials that I can. And so I'll show you how well this Nutria works. And this Nutria opens up a lot of possibilities for tails on Scandinavian flies. You know, you could do smaller cascades with it. There's just a lot of options. It's a very neat material, and I'm glad I found it. So what I'm going to do, Nutria is definitely a slippery material. So what I want to do is add a little bit of glue to my thread again. And I don't want to work up too far with my thread because I only have a few more materials to put on after. And what you do, you get a little bit of glue. I don't know if you can see it, but it should be flaring up quite a bit all on its own, and it always springs back into position. And so that is about the lightest, most efficient prop I have seen for soft material type flies. So what that's going to do, instead of just putting the Marabou on and it penciling out, now it has something to give it a little bit more volume in stained water or even just faster water. And then what you gotta do is carefully get rid of the Nutria. And I might have to use my scissors, but this blade's getting a little dull. We'll try the scissors right now. We can probably do it pretty well with the scissors. If your blade's too dull when you do that, you run the risk of trying to push really, really hard and then cutting the tube. I'm just trimming up all the loose ends here. Really helps to have a sharp blade though with this Nutria. Okay, got most of it. Perfect. Now we can go right into the Marabou. And what I like for Marabou is the floral steelhead orange and the fluorescent bubblegum pink to really grab that what's called candy floss. And you can mix these either way. You can start with orange and then go to pink, or start with pink and go to orange. I just kind of blend them all along. And I don't know if it matters too much. Now, once again, I'll show you how I like to tie in the Marabou to keep this fly as sparse and as castable as we can make it. So, and that bead, you know, provides some weight. It'll balance out a large hook in the back, but and you can use smaller beads if you like as well. 3 to 4 sizes of these Flexibeads. So if you want to really reduce some weight, you could use the smallest one on there. I mainly am using it for the Nutria to sit against. So what I'll do after one full turn is I'll strip aside. And that may be painful for some of you, but I think you'll like your Marabou much more if you don't use tons and tons of it. So I did one full turn with all the Marabou, and then I did 2 turns with half the Marabou. So effectively for material, it's like 2 turns, not 3 turns, but you just get a little bit better coverage because you did 3 turns. I think I confused myself right there. 2 turn, 3 turn, but I think you get the idea. You strip the side off and then you're able to keep tying and it doesn't get as much bulk to it. So there's our orange, and I'll add some pink flash again here. You can use whatever flash you really like. Okay, then as always, just work the thread up slightly, like so, and I take it and I just kind of fold it down like that. And after you take a couple turns, you can lift it up and help to really position it where you want. I like doing it that way because it eliminates the amount of wraps I'm taking with the thread. Now we're just going to kind of taper this flash. I don't want to come in too far back into the tail, so it comes up just kind of about the length of the Marabou, like so. And you can use whatever flash you like, whether it's Flashabou or Scandie winging flash. Perfect. Now what we'll do is add some of the pink, but what else I'm going to do is show you as well, if you want to keep the weight to a minimum, how to do a nice thread head. Oftentimes you see guys on Scandinavian forums and great tires who get just that perfect, it looks like they put a plastic O-ring on it. So, and it's not as difficult as you may think. I'm gonna attempt it. Hopefully I don't mess it up, but I'll show you how you can tie a fly and get rid of the cone or disc if you don't want it on one. I will say with soft materials, the cones and discs do kind of help to protect it. So I'll add Schlappen also on top of it. But if you, let's say, you just want to have some without a cone or disc for whatever reason, I'll show you how to do that. So you're going to cut that. I'm going to find my lighter. There it is, right in front of me. And I'll add just a flange. Don't burn your thread off. That'd be bad. Okay. So I got a flange right there. Perfect. Let it dry for a minute. Have a sip of coffee. And this is a type of fly that, you know, you would think of as a guide fly. You know, they're fast and easy. They're inexpensive, but very effective. And it just kind of want to demonstrate how easy it is with a nano tube and a bead to create these steelhead patterns. I'll trim that away, trim that away. And believe me, if you keep your Marabou a little sparser, I think you'll like the way it swims and just like the overall, just the consistency of the fly. So I always reverse that tip. You gotta be careful here because Marabou can be very thin. So you want to be gentle on your first couple turns. Okay, so I'll do one turn like that. And I'm gonna do one more with all the fibers this time. And then I'll take half of it off. I kind of just eyeballed it, so I get one more with all of them. Now I'm into half of the Marabou there. Okay. And I'll grab that stem, tie in front and behind, and essentially what I'm doing is trying to make the stem, manipulate the stem so it's not pointed up when I tie it, but is going parallel with the tube. So its tendency is not to want to come unraveled anymore. It's just straight with all the other material. It makes it a little bit more secure that way. It's a Davy McPhail trick I saw. Okay, now we'll do one more piece of Schlappen here. And I'll do the floral steelhead orange, so I'm kind of sandwiching the pink and orange together. Pick one out, some nice fibers here. And okay, put this on here. And what happens when you melt that flange is you'll notice that the material will actually suck right up into that. So you can tie right up and into that flange. So I'll do one turn with all the hackles, come around for the second turn, and I'll strip the side off again. And that's just so we can move all the way into the flange, but not have tons and tons of material. What I mean by it sucking up into the flange, even though we're there, we can actually take another turn right into it, like so. Then what I'll do now is lock it, come in front of it, lock it, come in front of it, and again. Okay, we'll trim this away. And now here's how I like to get a nice thread head. So we'll do a couple wraps. The whole idea here is you want your thread to just get larger this way, but not slide back or back and forth. So what I like to do is cheat here, and I'll add a little bit of super glue onto it. And now I'm not pulling really hard. I'm just kind of almost crisscrossing like X's. All I want to do is just build it up. And you can get it even wider, as it were, than the actual tube head by doing this. So, and I'm not putting very much pressure. The glue itself is what's gonna hold it. So I'm gonna show you, you can go as crazy as you want, and that's okay. If you come off the tube, that's all held with glue. And we'll just build that up. Once we get to where we think we're good, about there, what I'll do is come in with the blade. Cut that, okay. And then you come in with your varnish now, and you can apply usually about 2 to 3 coats does it. But I put the Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails in a jar with this needle application. And the first one, you just do lightly. And as you do your second and third one is where it really starts to gloss over and increase in size to get a real nice round thread head on there. And they tend to just look prettier when you do them this way. And you can put 3 to 4 wraps on that, and 3 to 4 applications. And what happens is you get just a very nice thread head that continues to build up, and kind of a slick little trick you can impress your friends with. So Formula 1 Flash Tail Steelhead Fly. Thank you for watching.